Hey up and welcome to Appleyards in Keighley, a premier local motorcycle dealership here in West Yorkshire, and today I'm going to be taking out the Suzuki SV 650, their new bike for 2023. In the meantime, and if you're in this neck of the woods, and indeed if you're not in this neck of the woods, get yourself down to Appleyards here, a very wide range of motorcycles, both new and used, and a good number of demonstrators for you to try as well. So thanks to them today for the opportunity to take out the 2023 Suzuki SV 650.
Right then, here we are, the 2023 Suzuki SV 650, here in grey and black with the cherry red wheels. That grey is like that BMW grey, isn't it? What do they call it? Nardo grey. Quite a popular colour on high-end cars. Sets this bike off well. And I suppose you'd call this a light to middleweight sports naked. So let's jump on and explore its credentials. Right, here we go. First observation, nicely flat-footed with a bend in the knee still. I believe it's a 785mm seat height on this here bike. Nice and manageable if you've got a bit of a vertical challenge going on. Quite a firm seat. Just get the mirrors adjusted. Nice view from those cat's eyes mirrors. Off we go. Let's see what this LCD dash tells us. And we'll just start her up. So there we go, standard LCD display. Across the top there, the rev counter, left hand side clock, and below that miles. Digital readout of the speed. To the right of that, your gear indicator. Then to the right of that, temperature gauge. And bottom right there is the fuel gauge. And a nice healthy throb from this 90-degree V-twin, which is so positioned as to invite you to call it an L-twin, which some people do. Because a 90-degree V moved around a little bit becomes an L. L-twin or V-twin, either way, feels nice and throaty. Off we go. Yeah, get yourself down to Appleyards in Keighley. There's quite an emphasis in my channel on modern classic bikes, particularly Royal Enfields, because I have two Royal Enfields and they have a really good stock of every Royal Enfield model in just about every colour you can imagine, with a demonstrator for each model as well. So get yourself to Appleyards. They've got demonstrators for Classic 350, Hunter 350, Meteor 350, Super Meteor 650, Continental GT, Interceptor 650. Demonstrators for all of them, and stock of most, if not all, of the colourways. It's a great dealership. So feeling very tractable up this steep hill. Obviously a bit of wind blast because it's a naked bike. No undue turbulence, however. Rare to find anything like that on a modern bike. And I suppose it's fair to say that this bike is sort of at the more modestly priced sector of the market. I mean, when you think in terms of this bike's natural competitors, a lot of them are a good bit more expensive than this bike. So I'm thinking in terms of the Triumph Trident 660, the Aprilia Tuono 660 even. What else we got? Let's have a look at the other Japanese manufacturers. So there'll be the Honda CB 650, there'd be the Kawasaki Z 650 RS, and the Yamaha XSR 700. So this bike finds itself in that cohort. Now, of course, I am used to riding a 650 motorcycle because I've got the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, which I love to bits, and it's just 47 brake horsepower. Well, this is 73 brake horsepower, so considerably more ponies in this little baby. And the torque on this is 57 foot-pound of torque. I often tend to glaze over talking about these numbers. I don't know how much use they are to people generally. Let me know if it's of any real importance to you. For me, it's all about how the bike feels when ridden, and how it looks, and how it performs, and what it represents in terms of value for money. Pretty narrow in the waist, it has to be said. And apparently this bike benefits from a little bit of technology, which means that the engine output, the RPM, is modulated at low speeds to help you better cope with riding in heavy traffic, for example. So nothing behind. Let's try the brakes. Front brake. Oh my lord, that is good. Crikey, it nearly threw me over the handlebars. Nothing behind. Rear brake. Yeah, decidedly mediocre, but front brake, absolute mustard. It's so light and nimble, is this. I mean, it comes in at less than 200 kilograms, so and that combined with its diminutive size make it an ideal traffic buster, an ideal commuter. So if you're in the market for an affordable, reliable, good looking commuter bike that you can also have a bit of fun with at the weekends, this would be a serious contender for you. What a pleasing note from that L-twin, 90-degree V-twin, whatever you want to call it. And I imagine it would sound even better with some sort of aftermarket cam. Wouldn't have to be necessarily a big expensive Akrapovic. There's lots of good aftermarket exhausts out there at a reasonable price. I'll give you two names that I've personal positive experience of that are not going to break the bank. Delkovic and Lextech. I've had both of those on more than one bike and I've been very impressed with them. So I just do a little bit of urban riding here in traffic, such as it is, and very well behaved indeed. 19 miles an hour, third gear, and smooth as you like. Yeah, so I don't know what sort of voodoo Suzuki have got going on inside the gubbins of this bike to modulate the engine output at low speeds, but it's doing a lovely job at of ironing out any lumps and bumps that you might otherwise expect at those sorts of speeds. Right, so here we are at 30 mile an hour in 4th gear on a very steep hill indeed, and if I was on the Interceptor I'd be down in 3rd without a doubt. So plenty of torque to be associated with the mapping on this engine. See, this is proper steep here, so let's see how we cope in 4th. Just effortless really. Probably struggle here. Will she go? Yeah, no problem at all. I mean, the GoPro doesn't do it justice, that hill. My Interceptor would have just cut out there in 4th gear basically. I wouldn't have had it at all. So yeah, a lot of mid-range torque on this bike. Excellent. So yeah, at this point I'd just like to say a big thank you in particular to Lewis at Appleyards. Lewis is moving on next week. He's moving on to another dealership, and I'd just like to say thanks ever so much, Lewis, for looking after me over the last few weeks. Always very interesting conversations that we've had, and you've always been good enough to sort these bikes out for me and make sure they're fueled up and the rest of it. So wish you the very best of all things in your new career. I say new career, it's still in motorcycles, but I'm sure you'll equip yourself very well indeed going forward. Oh, lovely. And there must be a word other than flickable to describe handling, but I just can't think what it might be at the moment. Right, so we'll see what the performance is like. I don't think I'm going to be getting past that car anytime soon. Not on this. But I bet you I'm having more fun than he is. Nothing complicated about this bike. Limited electronics suite. Oh, you wouldn't think this were a 650. Lord of mercy.
Right, here she is then, the 2023 Suzuki SV 650, and looking resplendent there in the grey, black and red trim, and from the front end a little bit of retro styling there with that headlight to there, the nod to days gone by ends, I would suggest. Anyway, let's start at the front end. And the brakes, we have two 290mm discs with two Tokiko 4-piston calipers, and a nice bite indeed to those front brakes, very, very keen. The suspension is very standard 41mm non-adjustable front forks with 120mm of travel. At the back wheel, as you can see there, we have a single disc 240mm and a single pot Takiko caliper. Double-sided swing arm there and chain drive, and the suspension is a 7-stage preload adjustable monoshock at the rear there. We have the ubiquitous Euro compliant sideboard sized exhaust at the back, which sounds reasonably throaty for a stock exhaust. Moving on to the engine. So this is a 646cc liquid cooled double overhead cam 90-degree V-twin engine, or if you prefer L-twin. And this unit puts out 73 brake horsepower and has 57 pounds-feet of torque, so packs quite a punch for a 650cc motorcycle. No frills lighting wise, standard lights front and rear. The tank is 14.5 litres, that's 3.8 US gallons, and a claimed performance of 68 miles per gallon. So a couple of 100 miles on a tank should be within easy reach on this bike. And a very, very standard switch gear layout there on the handlebars. Nice flat bars, comfortable riding position, not at all sporty really. Right hand side there you see starter and kill switch, and a brake which is adjustable for span. And on the left hand side your typical horn, indicators, hazard warning lights, pass and main beam switch, and the cable clutch, again not adjustable for span on the clutch side there, adjustable for span on the brake side. The LCD dash we looked at earlier, no rail frills there, no cornucopia of telemetry and information to distract you on there, just everything that you really need to know. And what I call the cat's eyes mirrors there, excellent view to the rear. And what else can we say about this bike? Well, there's no centre stand as standard, so for chain maintenance you're talking about doing it the old-fashioned way, or getting yourself an ABBA stand or something similar. The seat height is 785mm, and that seat there nice and narrow at the waist of the bike, plenty of wider support to the rear, and a reasonably comfortable pillion. So let's look at me seated upon the bike then. As I said, 785mm seat height. I'm 6'1" with a 32 to 33 inch inseam, and as you can see I'm very flat-footed with a bend at the knee. The riding position, quite sporty in the leg but quite relaxed at the arm, not overly stretched, and certainly not canted forward in any meaningful way. It's a pretty vanilla bike, to be honest with you, but all the better for it. If you are transitioning from a learner motorcycle and this is your first quote-unquote big bike, you're going to be quite surprised and indeed thrilled by the power that this 650cc engine puts out. It's an entertaining bike. Yeah, if you're in the market for a bike at this price point that's capable of doing most things with comfort and ease, then I suppose the alternatives are the Triumph Trident 660, the Aprilia Tuono 660, and the other Japanese manufacturers' contribution in this category, and that will probably be the Yamaha XSR 700, the Honda CB650 and the Kawasaki Z650 RS. So there she is. What do you think? A very practical, very usable, quite economical bike, and a very, very appealing option to anybody, either an experienced rider or somebody transitioning from a learner motorcycle to their first quote unquote big motorcycle. Yeah, nice little bike.
So in conclusion then, what can we say about this, the 2023 Suzuki SV650? Well, surprisingly good. I mean, for a 650cc engine, this really packs a punch. 73 brake horsepower and some excellent mid-range mapping, giving you plenty of usable torque, which makes it a good commuter, a good weekend scratcher, potentially a good tourer, even 2 up, economical, frugal, an excellent choice for somebody transitioning from a learner motorcycle to their first big motorcycle. And it sits amongst quite a few other young pretenders, some of which enjoy perhaps a slightly higher profile. I'm thinking of the Triumph Trident 660 and the Aprilia Tuono 660 in that regard, which may be regarded as slightly more stylised and therefore slightly more appealing. But you'll pay a bob or two more for them than you will for this. And this of course comes with Suzuki's legendary reliability. Handles well. I mean, the tyres that come standard with this are Dunlop Road Smart 3, and they seem to me to be certainly on this dry if overcast day perfectly adequate, nice and planted in the bends. So yeah, what you get for stock for your £6,999 is quite a bit, and there won't be many things that you can't do on this bike, and do so with a huge grin on your face if you explore its full potential, legally of course. So if you'd like to get a test ride on this very bike, get in touch with Appleyards at Keighley. They will be more than happy to facilitate that request. So, hope that was of some interest to you. If it was, please click a like, please click subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps me enormously. And so it only remains for me now to say thank you once again to Appleyards for the loan of this bike, and in particular to Lewis and to Kieran and Mikey and to the general manager Kevin. So until the next time, ride safe, be kind, and I'll catch you on the next one. Toodle pip.